Hey, gang. Today is National Suicide Prevention Day. And I know I normally start off the show with some, Weisenheimer comment about the National Day. It's usually something like, Swiss cheese day, things like that. But the truth is, suicide prevention is very serious. Suicide is very serious. Unfortunately, seems like lately over the past few years, the rate of suicide among not just young people, but even people my own age has really gone up. So it's something important to really address. And I mean, I am not the person who can really, go into a lot of detail and, heavy discussion about these kind of things. I have had a couple of people in my life who did decide that they were going to take their lives and they were successful at it. So it is not an easy thing. So if you are someone who feels that, maybe there's no way out and, the world's closing in on you, seek help because believe it or not, there are people out there who care about you. You may not know it. You may not think that's the case, but it is. All right. So it's Monday. Let's get the show on the road because the Daily Dope is in the air. Howdy, gang. Yes, I'm Jeff McAleer. I'm back once again as your host here at the Daily Dope, presented by thegaminggang.com. Today is Monday, September 10th. Welcome aboard. Got kind of a short show, I think, today. Today's been very, very bizarre. I'm not in the best of moods either. I will talk about that after the news. It's not like I'm in a super bad mood. Just, I don't know. I'll discuss it a little bit. I've got a little house cleaning to kind of talk about today. But if this is your first time tuning in, this is a very casual show. I kind of kick back, just really talk about tabletop gaming. Usually have an unboxing, which I do today. I am going to be taking a look at The Captain is Dead Lockdown from Alderac Entertainment Group. I'm a little discombobulated today. So I'm going to be unboxing this and taking a first look. Do want to mention that chat is available on YouTube. This is a live stream. I know a vast majority of people watched the show long after it originally aired. But if you happen to be tuning in, feel free if you want to say hello or if you have a question or you want to see something a little bit closer up about The Captain is Dead Lockdown, by all means, chime in. It's not on screen, but I do follow the chat on YouTube, so I will respond. So before I jump into the news, just a bizarre day today. I've had to drop off one of the cats over at the vet. I've dropped Pinky off. She's a cat that you never, ever see, but you sometimes hear down here in the Duct Tape Studios. So she's at the vet right now. She has always, well, I shouldn't say always. She's not my cat. She's actually my dad's cat. And she was actually really my stepmother's cat, but my stepmother passed away. So Pinky is sort of like the last bit of attachment that's left, living as far as my stepmom. So my dad really tries to, go all out and take care of this cat. And she has just had a hell of a time breathing lately. It's almost like she's got bronchitis. Like I've got a bout of bronchitis that's finally going away. But she's always wheezy and her nose is always running and things like that. So decided, finally, I was like, this is it. We got to go take this cat to the vet. So I dropped the cat off at the vet. And my dad is off picking Pinky up. Stinko Pinko, as I like to call her. But just was running around with that. And then I get back and get everything set up for the show. And there was a news piece I totally zoned on that I wanted to include in today's show. I'll have it on tomorrow's show. So I get down, I've got everything set up to start the show, and I do a test recording because I always make sure that the sound is in sync. And it's way out of sync. I mean, it's crazy out of sync. And I'm like, what's going on? And the computer's doing an update that it's not supposed to be doing because it's not the time, that I set aside where the computer can do updates. And I'm like, oh, for crying out loud. So the show is a little more than an hour late today. So I do apologize for that. But anyway, it's been a crazy day. Just crazy day. And like I said, I'm a little discombobulated, but hopefully I can settle on in. I grab a sip here. So, and then there's something that's kind of irked me, which I will talk about after the news. But let's jump into the news. I don't have a ton of news today. Only 3 news pieces. Should have been 4. Like I said, I zoned on one of them. But kind of a quiet news day. But first off, I do have to point out that Z-Man Games has revealed a new entry in their pandemic game line. And I've got the dope on Fall of Rome. Citizens, soldiers, and allies of the Roman Empire unite in pandemic Fall of Rome. Raise armies, defend your cities, and forge alliances to ward off relentless barbarian incursions. Can you hold the line against the invading horde and prevent the fall of Rome? Well, historically, they weren't able to do that. Pandemic Fall of Rome follows a proud tradition of the award-winning Pandemic, transforming this signature cooperative crisis management gameplay from disease control to the defense of one of the greatest civilizations in history. Instead of diseases, players face off against the migration of aggressive barbarian tribes. They must defend their cities long enough to forge alliances with the invading hordes, and in doing so, save the empire from certain doom. Decades of economic crisis, aristocratic decadence, and political corruption played their parts in the decline of the Roman Empire. However, while Roman society crumbled from within, a weakened military left their broad borders, I almost said broad shoulders, broad borders open to invasion and conquest from countless Germanic tribes, such as the Anglo-Saxons, Goths, and Vandals, that's where the word vandalism comes from, and other formidable foes, such as the Huns. Pandemic Fall of Rome also features a unique gameplay mode for the solo gamer, as well as an additional challenge for the seasoned group. Solo players will take on the burden of being the emperor and command 3 different roles to try and protect the city from the invading hordes. Players who want to tackle a more difficult game can try the Roma Caput Mundi challenge, Caput, by adding more revolt cards to the deck. They must also respect the law in Rome that Roman legions are not allowed in the city. Pandemic Fall of Rome is for 1 to 5 players, ages 8 and up, plays in around 45 minutes to an hour, and will carry an MSRP of $49.99 when it arrives later this year. Sweet! I mention it all the time. I am not the biggest fan of just regular Pandemic. I always feel that the game plays you, you don't really play it. Now, I have not played any of the Legacy. I have not played Season 1 or Season 2. I've heard great things about that. I think it's kind of cool to see Z-Man Games taking the core mechanics of Pandemic and actually creating a historical game. Pretty sweet, pretty interesting. So this is one, if you're a historical gamer, you may want to keep your eyes peeled for. All right, there is a new horror title arriving just in time for Halloween from Enkama Board Games. It's a French company that I am not familiar with, but I do have the dope on Monster Slaughter. Of course, it's just a little bit of dope. Flip the script on 1980s horror films with Monster Slaughter, a board game with miniatures. As the head of a family of monsters, werewolves, vampires, zombies, or golems, it's your turn to hunt down and play insufferable college kids. All right, let me start from scratch there. Boy, I'm telling you, I am way out of it today. It's your turn to hunt down and slay, and not play, slay insufferable college kids holed up in a cabin in the woods. The hardest part? Deciding what order they should die, and then sticking with it. Play as a family of monsters and track 5 teenagers to a cabin in the woods. Each player chooses an order in which the teenagers will die, then tries to make it happen as planned. Monsters will have to smash doors open, search for the teenagers in the house, try to eat them, or even defend them if a premature death isn't what they had planned. Well, werewolves, zombies, vampires, golems. Who will become their true nightmare? It's time to figure it out. Seemingly that doesn't make a whole sense grammatically, but this is a French game company, although the game will be available in English. Monster Slaughter is for 2 to 5 players, ages 14 and up, and plays around 45 to 60 minutes. It is going to carry an MSRP of $90, although it does have a lot of minis in it, and it is slated for an October release. I have to say, it looks interesting. It's kind of an oddball concept where, okay, so, and of course this is not for kids. I would hope it's not, I know, great. That's why it says ages 14 and up. It's 14 and up for the subject matter as well as small pieces. But looks like the miniatures are kind of cool. It's got a bizarre kind of art style. I've noticed like some of these European companies, especially like French companies, have this kind of off-the-wall art style. Look at some of Yellow Games. Some of Yellow Games has this kind of, bizarre kind of art style. I'm not saying it's bad, it's just different. So this could be something to check out. Although I got to admit, that $90 price tag, I don't know. It does have kind of a 3D cabin set up, so that's kind of neat. Anyway, final news piece. The latest wave of WizKids pre-painted D&D minis are on the horizon. In fact, I believe they just became available, and I do have the dope on Waterdeep Dragon Heist. Yes, I did do my sneak peek at Dragon Heist on Friday's show. I'm about halfway through it. Anyway, let's talk about the minis. Based on the newest Dungeons & Dragons story, Waterdeep Dragon Heist is scheduled to release this fall and features exciting and compelling characters, both heroic and villainous, including the human warlock of the Fiend, the devilish Pit Fiend, a lot of fiend there, and the founder of the Zentarum, the mysterious Manshoon. Also featured among the 44 figures from Waterdeep Dragon Heist are several popular animals for all of your wild-shaped needs, such as the tactical dire wolf and the vicious brown bear. Icons of the Realms, Waterdeep Dragon Heist, Standard Edition boosters will contain 4 figures, 1 large or 1 unique huge figure, and 3 medium or small figures. MSRP for the individual boosters is $15.99. You can get standard cases of boosters for $127.92. Picking up the cases almost guarantees you're going to get all 44. You're at least going to get close. Now, additionally, if you do pre-order the Icons of the Realms Waterdeep Dragon Heist standard booster case, which I believe you may not have an opportunity to do any longer, but you can check on the WizKids website. You'll have an opportunity to purchase the City of the Dead Statues and Monuments case incentive promotional set while supplies last. This gorgeous set of miniatures includes several beautifully carved statues and monuments, as well as several coffins that can be used in a variety of locations. And I am sharing some of the main image that WizKids has shared for the statues and monuments. They look pretty cool. Experience the bustling city of Waterdeep, get to know its thrilling characters, and immerse yourself in the adventure with D&D Icons of the Realms Waterdeep Dragon Heist. I do believe if you're able to get the statues and monuments, I think it carries, if memory serves me correctly, it's $44.95. So I actually like the Xanathar Beholder that they're sharing. In fact, you're looking at it right now. And then the Pit Fiend looks pretty cool. So, I gotta admit, now granted, I have not had an opportunity to handle any of the pre-paints from WizKids, but as someone who's painted miniatures over the years and been okay, I was pretty decent at it. Not like I was going to be able to like go enter it into like the Golden Demon or anything like that, but pretty decent, better than just like tabletop quality. I gotta say, the pre-paints are pretty nice, and some of them, all I would really maybe do is give them a little bit of a wash, maybe kind of boost up some of the shadow, maybe highlight a little bit. But I have to be honest, when I've seen them at the different conventions, they're pretty impressive. All right, so that's it for today's news. Like I said, pretty short news day. So got a little house cleaning that I'm going to take care of. If you visit thegaminggang.com, if you have been a fan of the website over the past, going on 9 years now, we're going to start our 9th year later this month. For the past 3 years, I have done what I like to call the Gaming Gang Halloween Spooktacular, and actually post the some old-time radio shows, some scary, spooky old-time radio shows. So I've gotten a couple of emails asking, am I going to do it again this year? I gotta be honest, I doubt it. I don't think I will actually be doing that, simply because there are like 93 episodes already up, because I would post them every day. Every day of the month of October would be a new old-time radio show. And I gotta be honest that really there aren't a whole lot of... they're out there. I mean, I've shared pretty much every kind of scary episode of an old-time radio show that I really like. I don't want to necessarily start getting into like old comedy shows, although I really dig, say, like the Great Gildersleeve or the Jack Benny Show and things like that. I don't necessarily want to like post those shows, because I kind of just I don't know, just kind of, I don't know. I'm looking for like spooky, scary stuff. So, and of course, all this stuff is like, copyright free to be able to utilize. So anyway, I don't think that I'm going to do a Halloween Spooktacular this year. So what I might actually do is I might, every day of October on Twitter, I might post like a link to one of the 3 episodes for that day that I had originally, over the past 3 years, had put out. So honestly, it also takes up quite a bit of time, because the episodes I would clean up the audio and things like that, and I don't really have time for doing that anymore. Sorry, not with doing like a daily stream. So okay, so the next thing is I'm really considering changing the Daily Dope up a little bit and not doing news. I know, because a lot of times people tend to catch the episodes after the fact. I mean, some people are catching episodes, weeks or months later than when they originally aired. And that news is pretty, pretty stale by then. It's not anything super fresh. And I honestly don't think there are very many people out there who are kind of tuning into the show to catch the news. Plus, all the news that I talk about on the Daily Dope actually ends up going onto the website anyway. It goes up as a news piece on thegaminggang.com, which does draw tons of traffic to the website. But 80 to 100,000 unique visitors every month. And of course, those unique visitors are stopping by more than once. So lots and lots of traffic. So I'm kind of thinking I'm probably going to do away with the news. At least we're going to try it out. We're going to see what people think. I'm just going to do unboxings and reviews. It's going to free up a little bit of time as well for me too, because I'm kind of like double dipping on doing the news. I have to put the news together for the show, do, the various different images that go sliding on past. So, think that's what I'm going to probably be doing. All right. So third thing, I got to say, I'm a little miffed that, been doing a lot of reviews, been reviewing a lot of good stuff too. And, I don't understand. And now granted, okay, I understand I'm not the best looking guy out there. I don't have like some wonderful melodic voice or anything like that. I don't tend to put up, thumbnails on YouTube with my ugly mug, like with a game, like, which everybody does now. But then again, I'm one of these people. I've never been somebody who was like, oh, well, if everybody else is doing it, I guess I'm going to do it. No, not at all. So it's a little disheartening and a little irksome that there are some companies that I've recently done reviews for and really enjoyed the product, did a how to play, did a real detailed review, and it's off the cuff, so I do apologize. Every once in a while I'll get something wrong. I don't remember something exactly perfectly, but really been given big thumbs up, really high review scores for a lot of stuff that have recently had an opportunity to play, and these companies can't be bothered to share the reviews. I mean, not even to retweet or to share it on social media sites. And it's, to me, it's like, you know what? I don't get it. Like I said, I know it's not like, oh yeah, well, I'm like, you know, some handsome guy or something like that. I understand that, but you know what? I think our coverage is pretty solid. And I think over the past 8 years and 500 and some reviews, people have gotten to realize that I'm not a shill, and no one affiliated with the gaming gang has ever been a shill. So I don't know. To me, it's sort of like I said, it's disheartening in a lot of ways, because it's like, you know, a lot of effort goes into it. I don't just read a rule book and then do a review without playing a game. Have to make sure I play the game 3 times unless it's terrible. And if it's terrible, it's probably not going to get a review. I'm going to let the publisher know that, hey, you know what? This is not going to get a good review. And normally they're like, okay, that's okay. You don't have to review it. Don't worry about it. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to do about it. I don't want to sit here whining to companies like, oh, how come you didn't at least, you know, retweet? It's like, I don't know. So it's getting to the point where I might only work with companies that I know at least share some of the coverage that I put some effort into to get out there. Thankfully, AEG is one of those companies, and I'm pals with some of the folks at the company too. Some really cool people work for AEG. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that. That's why I'm a little irritated today, because I saw a Kickstarter for an expansion to a game I recently reviewed and really, really liked went live, and they shared, you know, like reviews and stuff. And I understand when companies pay reviewers, they want to share that coverage because they paid money for it. I get that. I completely understand. But then again, when they get some good, honest, solid coverage about a game, and then they don't even bother sharing that when they're doing a Kickstarter for an expansion to it, I don't know. I don't know what to say. All right, so enough of the house cleaning there. So before I jump into the unboxing and first look for The Captain is Dead Lockdown, let me talk about what's coming up this week. So first off, on tomorrow's show, I am going to unbox and take a first look at Fist of Dragonstones, the Tavern Edition from Stronghold Games. Yep, that's right. From my friends over at Stronghold Games. This is number 10 in the Great Designer series. I believe this is out. I believe this has come out probably very recently. So I'm going to take a peek at that. Then on Wednesday, it's Wargame Wednesday. I will be unboxing and taking a look at the large expansion for Armageddon War from Flying Pig Games. This is Burning Lands. I'm getting a little glare there. Let's kind of tilt that down a bit. Then I'm going to kind of switch up the order that I was planning on doing some RPG reviews. So originally, last week I was talking about I was going to review Kids on Bikes from Renegade Game Studios and Hunters Entertainment on Thursday. Thursday's my kind of like my RPG day here on the Daily Dope. I am going to save this till Friday, if there's a show on Friday, and I'll say something about that in a sec. I'm actually going to do my review for D&D Waterdeep Dragon Heist, which came out in some of your friendly local game stores last week, and will actually hit all retailers, including online retailers, on the 18th. So I want to have a review out there before this arrives. Well, once again, I'm getting a bunch of glare. Before this arrives in everywhere on the 18th. About halfway through it. It's fun. I like it so far. A couple of things that I will mention that it's more along the lines of how the Dungeons and Dragons adventures are presented in the books. Not necessarily something that I'm overly critical about, but I would like to see them presented a little bit differently. And I guess I can share it right now. The way that the books are laid out is, and granted, got to keep in mind, I have spent decades running Call of Cthulhu from Chaosium. So I've always liked how Chaosium does most of their adventures, where when you're in a portion of the adventure and all the relevant information is usually included right there or right nearby in the book, whereas with the Dungeons and Dragons adventures, it's like the NPCs, monsters, well, the monsters that aren't going to be in the monster manual, like the newer monsters, new spells, new magic items, things like that. Those are always like in an appendix at the back of the book. And it's not as convenient as it should be for the dungeon master running that game to be able to, because, a lot of people run it like almost straight from the book. They've memorized a lot of stuff, but they don't have everything at their fingertips, right? So that's one of the things I'm kind of surprised that Dungeons and Dragons hasn't kind of changed over the years, is kind of put the appropriate information near the section of the adventure that you would be using it. So I'm not going to ding a score. It's not going to get a ding as far as a review score because of it, because that's just how Wizards of the Coast always presents their D&D adventures. So, yeah, I'm having fun reading through it. Like I said, I'm about halfway through. All right, so I know there are plenty of people out there who want to check out The Captain is Dead Lockdown from Alderac Entertainment Group. It is designed by, oh my gosh, I had it in here and now it's gone. It is J.T. Smith and Jamie Verbsky is how I'm going to take a guess it's pronounced. Anyway, the game is for 2 to 7 players, ages 14 and up, and plays in 60 to 90 minutes. The Captain is Dead Lockdown is available right now, and it does carry an MSRP of $49.99. Let's zip on over and switch to the other camera here. There we go. There is the Captain is Dead Lockdown. I'm going to toss on the old reading specs here. Escape the alien prison or become space drones. This is the second episode in the Captain is Dead series. On this week's exciting episode of The Captain is Dead Lockdown, even without the help of the late captain, the crew was able to escape the alien attack in our last episode. However, the hasty repairs to the jump core did not hold. Now the crew finds themselves locked in an alien prison. Now the crew must use all their skills to hack into the alien prison systems while staying hidden and avoiding alien patrols. Using their various skills, can the crew successfully steal an alien ship and escape? Or will they perish in this prison? I don't know. We don't know what'll happen. You gotta play the game. Okay, so let's get this on open here. All right, come on. I gotta admit, there's this kind of weird, like, geometric sort of art style that's being utilized for the Captain is Dead series. I gotta be honest, I don't know how I feel about it. I haven't seen enough of these games to kind of have an opinion either way. It does seem a little odd. So we've got the adventure continues, talking about the contents. Then we get to see all the contents. If it doesn't contain what it shows here, then you gotta contact customer service. So it's talking about the setup of the game. And then talking about grenade cards, system upgrade cards, improvised plans, concealment level. Talking about that. I believe this is the captain who is dead right here. I'm not positive, but how the game works. It says the alien prison is made up of rooms. Each room except hallways has one or more system. Wouldn't that be systems? Each system gives the player an advantage if they can gain access to it. This will help them achieve the primary objective, stealing an alien ship to escape. So it's showing the system cards. The role cards. So each of the various different characters all have their role from being members of the crew on the ship. All right, let me grab a sip here. Before you begin, starting the game, winning the game. So I assume winning the game is just escape the prison, get that, commandeer that alien ship and escape. Talks about losing the game. When the concealment level is set to kill, a character is discovered during perform hostile alien actions. That character is immediately killed. Well, so there's player elimination. When the last player's character has been killed, the game is lost. It says, in addition, should you reach the end of the alert deck without raising the launch bay to escape, the aliens will move you to the most horrible maximum security labor camp they have on an inhospitable planetoid. Let's talk about the different roles. So there are quite a few different roles that you've got. I guess you can be an alien sympathizer. So you got the first officer, tactical officer, crewman, counselor, medical officer, diplomat, cyborg. So quite a few. So that is pretty cool. Wow, yeah, that's a lot of different roles. Well, you can have up to 7 players. So that is kind of cool that it isn't like, oh, okay, here's 9 roles or 7. That you have quite a few different options. The chief engineer, she can fix stuff faster than anyone. Has 2 engineering discounts, 4 actions, and a hand size of 6. Talking about the hand size, talking about injuries, concealment levels, player elimination. This episode features a controversial mechanic known as player elimination. All right, back in the day, that was certainly not any kind of controversial mechanic. That was in a lot of games. I know a lot of people don't dig player elimination. I don't have a huge problem with it, as long as it's not going to be a game that takes 2 hours. And then you're like, well, 30 minutes in, I got eliminated. Now what do? I guess go surf the net, go look on my phone, go read a book. It's talking about the different systems, unlocking systems, using systems. Now, you may hear Pinky is back. So I do hear Pinky making a little bit of noise. So I will have to find out how things went at the vet when I'm done with the show. All right, then we got bad stuff. We got the aliens, how aliens work, an example of play, a strategy guide, some variants as well. And then it's kind of talking a little, giving a little more information about those aliens. And looks like we've got a handy dandy player aid on the back. So there we go. Okay, so now we got a board. Let's see. I wonder how big this board is. It doesn't seem too big. Alright, so let's I can zoom out because I believe I'm zoomed in a little bit, so I can probably zoom out a little bit. Yeah, pretty nice board here. It's got a nice finish to it. Alright. There we go. We can get most of this in. So we see that the different decks of cards go in here. Got the improvised plans. Here's the concealment level here. Distractions. Face-up skills. Alerts. These are the grenades. Security section. Skill deck. So, pretty cool. Then it looks like these are all the different rooms as far as the prison. You're trying to go around through and probably set off these different systems or deactivate these different systems. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Got a cool insert. Got some decks of cards. Looks like I'm taking a guess maybe these are the roll cards? Maybe not. Let's see. Maybe these are individual player aids as well. Let's see. Oh yeah, so we've got it's showing what the aliens are, right? So commander, hacker, lieutenant, patrol, infantry. So there's one of these for each of the players to have. And it's talking about patrol movement for the aliens. So we've got those. We've got a small deck of cards in here. We've got a bunch of standees. And these are made out of plastic. Okay. So here we've got... That's cool. So I believe that was the Admiral. I think we saw that that's the Admiral. So we've got the different roles. And it appears that the actual hero, let's make that kind of stand out a little better against the red background. Looks as if the different player roles are all transparent backgrounds on them. Oh, he's an orange shirt. I wonder what that means. Go. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I like that. Another one here. So there are quite a few of these. Because there were quite a few different roles that you could take on. Another one here. It's a little odd with that transparency. Is that maybe that's a first officer? Maybe that was the Admiral. I don't know. I would think the Admiral would be in white. Another one here. So a lot of variety there. So of course, with all the different roles, it's going to give you plenty of replayability with the various different characters and their abilities. These. Pretty wild. It's pretty wild. All right, now we've got the different aliens, and the aliens actually have an opaque background, like so. So, of course, I'm taking a guess that the different colors are going to correspond to their different abilities. So we've got the blue, we've got what looks like kind of gray, we've got a gray background. Yeah, got another one of the heroes. Got a green background. And we've got a red background. Just like so. These. Oh, looks like kind of a brown. Yeah, it looks like kind of a brown background for this one here. Huh. Alrighty. Oh, there we go. Got another hero. I can see that these little transparent standees will end up getting a lot of fingerprints all over them. So let's put all these back into the bag. There are quite a lot of these. I'm gonna open up. Here's the little bases. Looks like these bases are color coded as well. Let's see how well these stand up in the base. Let's see what we got here. Oh, well, actually, I was thinking, wonder if there's going to be a lot of wiggle room. There isn't. There isn't. Stands up very nicely. And pops right back out. So that's cool. So we've got a bunch of these in the different colors. And of course, I would take a guess that the various different colored bases correspond to the different alien types. Okay, get all those back in. From my understanding, the first game, The Captain is Dead, kind of had a little bit of a little tongue-in-cheek humor to it. I don't know if that is necessarily the case here. This looks like this is pretty straightforward. Now, it's very possible that I am incorrect, and the original game did not have a little bit of humor to it. But you just figured, you know, just the concept itself that the captain's dead and the rest of the crew have to actually save the ship and everybody on it tends to you know, lend itself probably to a little more tongue-in-cheek. And what else we got? Oh, we got some cubes. Got some cubes here, and then we've got some kind of like bars. I'm taking a guess. We would probably be taking one of these bars to mark the concealment level, since I don't see any counters. And I don't see anything under here either, so I'm going to take a guess that we would probably be using it, slide that up, kind of be using this to mark the various different concealment levels there. Not sure what these little cubes are going to be for, though. Alright, so we got those. We got, let's see, get this stuff back. Alright, let's see what we've got with these decks of cards. And there are different decks of cards. I'm pretty positive. You can almost see kind of the different colors here. So let's take a look at this. So, alright, so those are the different roles. These are alert cards. So we got probably corresponding to the color on the concealment track is what I'm guessing. Yeah, because, well, maybe not. Because I see we've got red, we've got orange, we've got yellow, and we have blue. But here it goes red, orange, yellow, green. So I don't know. So these are different alert cards. Let's see what we got here. I think like orange alert. Mess hall situation. Add an alien commander and 2 alien infantry to the mess hall. Perform hostile alien actions. Guess you can spend stuff maybe to cancel it or to override it. Let's see what else we've got. Cargo lockdown. Add an alien hacker and an alien infantry to the storeroom. So, of course, you're going to have to take these guys out. Logical hunt. All aliens in the warden office and the maintenance room are moved to the active player's location. Add an alien lieutenant to the active player's location. All right, so these seem like these are all fairly bad. So, let's see what the green... so here, the blue is actually improvised plans. So, linguist... Rootkit. At any time, hack 2 systems is a free action without lowering concealment level. You do not need this to in the location of the system. Uses card. Camouflage. Screams in space. Thought nobody can hear you scream in space. Remote detonation. Recycle. Replicator. There's a few other ones. So these are improvised plans. Okay, and then let's take a look at the smaller deck. Well, actually, let's look at the crew. So here, on each of the crew roles, it's going to show, for one action, players may move up to 2 spaces, or kill a hostile alien at your location in rank order, or carry another player 1 space, or give a skill or tool to another player in your location, or take a skill or tool from another player in your location. Alright, then it's showing the front of the card here. I'm not sure what these represent. This might represent, like, their branch. I don't want to say faction, but might actually show their branch. So we got crewman, tactical officer, telepath, counselor. So, of course, this is hand size. I can tell up there that's probably hand size. So it's talking about the different down below. It tells what like their special skill is. So like the diplomat may cancel or override alerts on other players' turns, but may not use skill discounts when doing so. May spend an alien language card to move any hostile alien infantry from one location to an adjacent location. So we got medical officer, Got a cyborg. 7 of 9. Unaffected by anomalies. Anomalies, Jeff. Duh. Note, anomalies are lasting effects that come from the alert deck. Does not have to spend an extra action to kill hostile alien lieutenants. I've got Ensign. Teleporter Chief. It's O'Brien. It's Miles O'Brien. Chief Engineer. Hacker. First Officer. There's the Admiral. Okay, so the Admiral's the guy wearing the blue. There's the Alien Sympathizer. Weapons Officer. Soldier. So, of course, with so many of these roles, you could easily... Of course, the players choose their roles, but you could easily just shuffle these up and to kind of give an added challenge, just, randomly shuffle these up and deal them out to the players. So we've got that. Okay, so now we can look at the smaller deck here. So I believe these are also going to be various decks. So we have Veteran, Skills. Looks like a lot of skills. And then we got Tools. Got Contraband. Ooh, yeah. Then we've got online cards. What were these? Online and inactive. System jamming. Oh, okay. So we've got different... I guess these are kind of like upgrades or something like that. So you can like jam the systems, suppress the alarms, do a looped video feed, silencer, incinerator, and then of course these are inactive. And then when you activate them, it's going to tell you what you can do with these. So an aggressive Metabot automatically kills any hostile alien in the holding cell and heal one player in the holding cell. Confuse commands. There's a randomizer. Shuffle skill, discard deck back into the skill deck. So that's what those are. Let's see what the Veteran says. Toolmaster, Assassin, Grenadier, Harmless, Researcher. So I guess maybe after you kill so many aliens or do so many, gain so many skills, something like that, maybe you get to draw a Veteran card. Give you another special ability. Okay, so we've got these different tools. So we've got pistols, rifles. For an action, kill all hostile aliens at your current location, then flip rifle to side B. Oh, so it's limited usage. That's kind of cool. So it says flip it over to side B. Here's side B, you get to use it again, and then it's discarded. The alarm suppressor, a cloak, translator. Cool. There's a lot of little goodies in this. This is kind of cool. All right, and then finally, no, I shouldn't say finally. We also have some other online. Got some online cards. So it looks like these are areas that you have to kind of maybe hack into to take them offline. Or maybe this is when they're locked. Maybe this is how they're supposed to come up, like this. Yep, there you go. So closed circuit video, discard face up alerts to, and then you got to discard that, I guess, to unlock it, or you can hack it. Cool, we got that. Now let's see what we got with the skills. Oh, there we go. We got command, tactical, science, engineering. Okay, so command. Okay, so it looks like we've got different icons here. Various different icons that you can utilize. Looks like they're identical. Yeah, they're identical. So commands like that. Tactical gets this. So I would take a guess that you probably have to earn these, and then you'll actually spend these cards to utilize, like, maybe any one of these icons on here. So in addition to the icon that's probably on your roll, on your character, could be, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just taking a look at this for the first time. Looks pretty neat. Looks like there's quite a bit of cool stuff going on in this. Okay, so we've got the smaller decks of cards. Pop those right back into here. Then we've got the larger cards. So we've got the different roles, different alerts. We've got the pop the tools and stuff in here. Get some more of those smaller ones. We got the improvised plans. Those are going to go right there. Got all the standees and the bases. Then we've got these player aids, player aid cards. There's 7 of those. Then we've got the board, and pretty nice. There's, you know, some of it's matte, some of it's kind of got a sheen to it. Kind of cool, kind of pops. Am I folding this up the wrong way? What's going on here, Jeff? Probably am. Yep, it's supposed to go that way. So we've got the board, then we got the rules as well, and that is what we find when we take everything outside the box for The Captain is Dead Lockdown from Alderac Entertainment Group. As I mentioned, The Captain is Dead Lockdown is for 2 to 7 players, ages 14 and up, plays in about an hour to an hour and a half. It is available now, and it does carry an MSRP of $49.99. And of course, I will have a review soon for The Captain is Dead Lockdown. All right, so that is it for today's show. Remember, on tomorrow's show, I will be unboxing and taking a first look at Fist of Dragonstones, the Tavern Edition from my pals over at Stronghold Games. All right, so when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. By now you know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. I'll be back tomorrow. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Thanks again for watching The Daily Dope, presented by The Gaming Gang. If you like this episode, be sure to give it a quick thumbs up. And if you dig the channel, please subscribe. If you'd like to check out our previous episode, click right here. And if you want to check out a somewhat randomly selected episode, give a click right down here. It'll be like opening a box of Cracker Jacks. You just don't know what you'll get. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'm Jeff McAleer.